Welcome everybody to Funeral Nation episode 168. I'm Ryan Thogmartin. You know him, Jeff the Funeral Commander Harbison. Commander, we are 8 days away from the kickoff of the NFDA Convention and Expo. We've been talking about this for like the last month because it is the mecca of funeral conferences and expos, and it's a big deal in the United States, in the world. It's a global conference, and this is where it all goes down. And we've highlighted some companies that are launching around the conference and new products. And today we've got another new product that entered the marketplace a couple weeks ago that's a complete disruptor. But none of this, we don't get to do any of this without Jamie and the group at C&J Financial. They are our title sponsor, and I'm proud to say, and I know you are too, they have been our title sponsors since day one. So for 168 weeks, they have been right up there. So let's roll their promo.
C&J Financial and CFS are excited to announce a powerful yet simple solution to help thousands of funeral homes and families with the challenges that life insurance assignments can bring. Insurance companies are often a hassle to deal with, and claims can take weeks or months before payment is received. If you're tired of the hassle and cash flow delay in processing insurance death claims, C&J's Fast Funding program can help. With the new seamless integration between the two companies, CFS client families can submit preliminary insurance information to your firm through your website prior to the arrangement conference. The final assignment information is sent to C&J via the Insurance Assignment tab in your website management console. Once the claim is submitted, C&J will verify the benefits, and as soon as verification is obtained, payment is made to your firm, usually within 24 to 48 hours. C&J and CFS are committed to simplifying the lives of funeral directors so you can focus your time serving families.
All right. Yeah, it's exciting. C&J is a disruptor as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they come in, they do their work, they're innovative how they do it, and it's frankly, again, the funeral's not over until you get paid. I'm a huge proponent of Jamie and all of their team and what they do. So, Ryan, we had a little bit of news this week. It's interesting off Shark Tank. You want to give that a quick cover?
Yeah, so Eternova, who we had on the CEO Adele and co-founder back, I think almost a year and a half ago when they launched and got their first seed round, we had her on. They are a DNA to Diamond company. They were on Shark Tank this past Sunday, which I don't know how you feel. I'm split kind of down the middle. I think it's great that there was a death care product on Shark Tank, which got attention to the profession. Mark Cuban's now an investor in the death care space, which I think is pretty cool. However, there's been some follow-up, and anytime you go on a national stage, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago with transparency and honesty, that when you go big, you've opened up the cloak to just get darts thrown at you, and that happened to Eternova, and we had an article on Connecting Directors this week about that, and you know how it's a great product, but it's kind of being debunked that there's any carbon left when the diamond is created. And you know, you said it best that this is less of a product issue and more of just marketing terminology if you don't call it a diamond. So whatever it is, it's really good to see the death care space get some recognition. It just sucks that now it's followed up with some negativity.
Sure, and you know, we're going to see this in our interview coming up here in a few moments, but innovation also comes with scrutiny.
Yep.
So there's an opportunity there, just like we saw early on with DNA entering the market. Then you have Eternova. And of course, there's been several prior to Eternova. They probably had the biggest stage so far. And interestingly, coming up now when we're interviewing Parting Stone with Justin, I think this is a slam dunk home run winner for our industry. So why don't we go ahead and roll this interview with Justin?
Well, Justin, thank you for joining us on the Funeral Nation show. Justin with Parting Stone. I'm not going to do the introduction, man. I'm going to let you tell us who you are.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm Justin Crowe, I'm CEO of Parting Stone. My background's in product design, and about 3 years ago, I got into the death industry and started. I noticed how fascinating it was, our relationship with death and the rise of cremation, and it seemed like a really interesting place to go into. Around that time, I started working with Ryan. I was the managing editor of Connecting Directors for I think 2 years, and we just passed it on to Patricia Hartley, who's amazing. And for the past 3 years, I've been working on developing a new form of human remains. Now, instead of having just one option, instead of receiving ashes, families can choose to receive stones or stone-like remains called solidified remains.
Right, and that's fascinating because just reading about it, you and I talked about this for probably 18 months way back when you first started going.
Yep.
This is, in my opinion, one of those inventions or upgrades in our industry that's significant. This is the bomb, frankly, because if you think about it, the difference between ashes and stone, there's no question about that.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and we've seen that with we ran about a 9-month test market with Cremation Society of Illinois, as well as Regency Mortuary in Tempe. And what we found is that when somebody comes in and chooses cremation, they sit down in the arrangement, and one of the first questions they ask, they say, we have two options for receiving remains. You can receive the cremated remains or the solidified remains. And they show them the two options, and then the family can choose what they think they'll have a better experience with. And, ashes they're inconvenient, they're messy, they're a little bit scary to look at. And these stones are just beautiful and holdable and clean and touchable. And what we've done is we've just totally changed the experience that people are having with the essence of their loved ones.
Right. I read where a family, which I think is brilliant, scattering of ashes can become messy and inconvenient. They were able to take the stones and place them in favorite spots where the deceased loved to hike in the past. So this is, frankly, a little more versatile in that respect.
Yeah, that's one of the top things that people say they do with remains in our follow-ups is leave them around in special places. The top thing, almost every single family we follow up with say they shared the stones with their friends and family. And we had one of the most powerful experiences that I've had. We're based here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and a local woman heard about our service. And she contacted us and said, I've just been diagnosed with terminal illness, pancreatic cancer, and invited me over to her home to present the solidified remains and talk about why we're doing this. And I showed her one of the stones. It was of a dog, and she held it against herself. And, we talked the whole time. She held it here for about 15 minutes. She ultimately chose this option for herself. And unfortunately, 2 weeks later, she died. We received the remains from the funeral home, and the stones were delivered to her memorial, and every one of her friends got to take home one of her stones, just as she had planned. It was really beautiful.
Justin, you and I have kind of walked down this path as you were the managing editor, Connecting Directors, to talk a lot about this product and the launch. And you launched, a month ago was the official launch?
Yeah, we launched one month ago. We announced the solidified remains technology online. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And so far, what has been the response inside the profession?
The response has been really positive and interesting. So, I started writing for Connecting Directors in part 3 years ago because I wanted to learn about the industry and learn about it from the inside out. I wanted to have a foundation in the industry. I believe that the industry is essential to the success of this company and the popularization of this technology. But I also was aware that innovations in the industry almost always get ignored or disparaged, borderline. And so, I didn't expect it to be adopted quickly, but in the last 3 weeks, we've received over 150 funeral homes that have reached out that want to offer to sell it. And based on the funeral homes I'm looking at, it seems like there's 250 to 300 total locations that want to be offering it. And that has totally taken us by surprise, but really amazing. And we've expedited our retail or wholesale rollout plan. So we're getting a kit together right now, and hopefully we can mobilize these early adopter funeral homes here in the next month.
Awesome. Well, this is exciting, Justin. This is probably one of the things that Ryan and I talk about. I mentioned it earlier, a real new innovation. This is a change, a disruptor in the business, if you will.
Yeah, it disrupts, but what's a lot of times disruption implies kind of crushing of another business. But this type of disruption is just building on top of cremation. Because these families that are choosing cremation, if they choose solidified remains instead of cremated remains, you're going to make money on top of every one of those orders. And another thing that we're working on to help increase the revenue of funeral homes is, so currently they choose cremation, in the arrangement, they go into the selection room and you have all the products. The ecosystem that we're trying to create is you choose cremation, then you choose ashes or stones, and then you can either go the direction of ashes accessories or an entire market of stone accessories. So you can continue to build on that additional revenue.
Awesome.
Well, Justin, super excited to see this roll out and thrilled by the adoption rate so far of the profession. But this has been a conversation piece socially. You put out a video that has got over 100,000 views inside the profession and outside, and there's a lot of chatter about it. So it's super exciting for me, and I know for Jeff too, to see an innovative product that comes into the marketplace that really does provide another option that is, something that the consumer hasn't asked for, but absolutely wants, because there's not been any other option than getting ashes back, and then what do we do with them? So this is a problem that millions of consumers have with remains just sitting in a closet somewhere, and I think that there's healing experiences that can happen through this. So super excited to see it roll out. Happy for you to get this to market, and thankful that you came and chose to be on the Funeral Nation show to really talk about it as it gets rolled out into the profession.
Cool, and thank you so much for having me. I mean, the education that I've received through connecting directors and the network I've developed with you guys has been amazing, and it's so cool to kind of continue to be in this industry and have your help and partnership, and you as well, Jeff. Everything's been amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, well, good luck. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from you soon.
Absolutely.
Cool,
and if the funeral director wants more information on this, Justin, what's the next step they can take?
Yeah, we have at www.partingstone.com. You can fill out a retailer application, which puts you on our list so that we get connected with you to be able to start offering this service to your customers.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, Justin, thanks for coming on.
All right. Bye-bye.
So Jeff, Justin and I got connected a few years ago through a product that he had created that had gone viral, that was mixing cremated remains with a ceramic glaze. Got connected. He became the editing director of Connecting Directors for the last 3 years. So it's super cool to see this product come to market, because we all want to have a ability to change the world. And this is one of those things where there are millions of consumers, and it firsthand as a funeral home owner, that get back cremated remains thinking they're going to do one thing, and then just they go on a shelf, and then 5 years later they go on somewhere else in the house, and then they end up in the closet, and it's there's not a lot of closure there. And this is a product that he talked about, where people are taking stones and laying them versus scattering them in one location and holding on to them and keeping them close and putting it in their pocket and rubbing it, and it's really cool. I'm pretty jazzed about it. I know you feel the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of being jazzed, our friend Welton at Ring Ring, I mean, he and Richard have done some great work for us here at the Foresight Companies, and he's really put himself on a pedestal, or a position. I don't mean pedestal in a negative sense, but a position of authority within our industry. And frankly, I can't wait to see him. He's always got something cool at his booth, and we're going to show up and do something live with Ring Ring Welton and his team. So let's go ahead and run their promo before we close down.
We're Ring Ring Marketing. We help funeral homes generate at least 10 more at-need calls per month. Our techniques help you dominate local search rankings and become the top choice for services in your area. We also proudly offer a 100% money-back guarantee. For a free copy of our book, visit www.funeralhomeprofits.com.
All right, man. Here we go. So we'll have one more of these prior to, then we get to the Super Bowl and it all changes.
That's right. And we go live at the Super Bowl a lot. So make sure you're tuning in. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what you're going to see. It's going to be cool. I really expect a high attendance this year. You and I have talked about Chicago's a great city. It's easy to get in and out of. It's kind of centrally located. Should be good. The buzz is great. And NFDA is making some tweaks that, we're sponsoring a few things that they're doing that are pretty innovative and really excited just to bring more attention and focus to the conference for those that don't make the trip to it, to hopefully get them there in years to come. So pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing you. And we'll have a big announcement once we get together as well. So be prepared.
All right, let's do this. Until next week, out here.
Have a great effing week.